Hey, everybody. Sarah Lovely here with my good dear friend, Carrie Augustine. We're really excited to share a little bit about our experience. You might have heard some buzz about this thing called Project 23, AKA Women's Health Balancing Hormones Without the Use of Hormones. What? Balancing women's hormones without the use of hormones. And I'm excited to ask Carrie a couple of questions here because she's got a great testimonial. Both of us are really fortunate to have been two of 300 women who have had the pleasure and delight of testing out this product before the public can. So we're going to tell you guys on this live, don't worry, we're going to tell you how you can get yours. But we're like in the insider club. So we both started taking this product about 30 days ago, right? Carrie, you're 30 days about
Correct.
or a little bit less.
Yep. I'm
30
like
days.
probably just about 30 days. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, me too. And so what we really want to do here for you guys today, like stay on till the end because we're going to tell you how you can get your hands on this. But we really just wanted to share our experience and our hope for this conversation, right? Never before, ever have we been able to, has there been a product on the market that balances women's hormones without the use of hormones. And the reason there's two of us here is, first of all, we both have like a servant heart we want to share and help you guys, but there are two formulas, which is really cool. So Carrie is on one of the formulas, the menstrual cycle, and I'm on the menopause formula. She's on the menstrual formula. I'm on the menopause formula. And by the way, you guys, this isn't a conversation just about this product and what it's going to do for you, but this is a conversation about a new movement. We're blowing the lid off the shame, the pain, the guilt, the secret keeping of what young women go through from like 13 or whenever you get your first period, right up to like my age and beyond, where you're feeling like, are you kidding me? I'm still living controlled by my hormone nightmare. And so we're blowing off the lid off this conversation and we're normalizing it. So I'm going to like hand it over to you, Carrie. Tell us a little bit your story. Like, what is your, hormone story and what have you noticed with the product so far?
All right. Well, I first of all have to give some kudos here to my girl, Sarah Lovely, because isn't she freaking adorable, you guys? Like, Sarah, I love listening to you talk. I could listen to her talk for hours. So drop some love hearts in the comments over here. You might hear a little bit of wind chimes here in the background because I'm outside on the lanai. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. But yes, my name's Carrie. I'm super excited to share some info about this because, like Sarah just touched on, there's a lot of women that are going to need this, benefit from this, get help from this, and all the things. So yes, I'm 40, so I still currently have my period. So I am on the menstrual formula of this. I feel grateful and blessed that I was selected to be a tester to try this out because for me, my period and my time of the month is a time where personally I'm like kind of shamed with the moods, right? It's been a thing for me over the years. I was actually on medication. I went through a divorce several years ago. It was, a rocky time in my life. And during that time specifically, and this is actually one of the first times I'm talking about this, Sarah, believe it or not, I swear. I used to have extremely bad mood swings and high highs and low lows, and they put me on like Lexapro, I think it was at the time, to try to like level me out because I would go from down here to up here quickly and I would escalate, and it was bad, and it contributed to a lot of fights in front of our kids and things like that. It wasn't pretty. So yeah, if you can relate, like, if you're someone that struggles with mood swings, and if you've heard your hubby or your significant other or a family member or somebody tell you to calm down, like drop me, me in the comments, or I can relate because we can't calm down. And for me, when people would say that, it was almost like, if you've ever seen that movie Inside Out, the little guy with the red head that would like that was me, but I couldn't control it. So when somebody told me to calm down, it was actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Like offensive, or, I couldn't.
Oh, it was a fuel on the fire.
Correct. Yeah. Drop some fire emojis in the comments. There you go. That's a good one. So trying this product, everything that you're excited to try, you're like, will I see any changes? Will this work for me? And I gotta tell you, this month I was blown away because I still get my period, but I don't really track it. I don't track my period. So when it comes, typically the sign that it's coming is the moods. I know that it's coming because about a week and a half, 2 weeks before, Frank Boyle will say, your time of the month is coming up clearly. And I'm like, well, maybe it is. So that's like the beginning. And then I can just feel those uncontrollable mood swings. And I've literally told him before, this is like sad to admit, but I've said to him, like, I hate you for like a week of the month. Like, I literally hate you. Like, I feel like I know I love you, but like something inside me, I hate you. Like, I don't want to look at you, and it's uncontrollable, right? So this month is the first month I can say that when I got my period, I like looked down in the bathroom and I was like, wait, I didn't hate him this month, and I didn't have any mood swings, and he didn't threaten me to move out. And
That's huge.
Right? I went I went online and I actually shared on my stories because I was like, holy heck, this is legit. So
It's legit. And so you guys, Carrie's 40. I'm 56 in a couple weeks. We got it. Like, basically, I'd had 2 years of my period when she was born. I was already, well, this is good. I was already experiencing that. I was already experiencing the crazy mood swings, right? You guys, anybody ever watch the movie Gremlins? Cute, little fluffy, right? And then I would have the PMS at the like before I'd get my period, it would be like I would turn into one of the scary gremlins that would rip your throat out. And then when that would pass and that time of my month would be over, my period would be over, it would be like I came out of a hormonal blackout and went and looked at the wreckage of that week and looked at what happened. I relate, Carrie. Thank you for being vulnerable. Like, hit her some hearts, you guys, because to be vulnerable about, past relationships being like terribly affected because of this and being put on medications, that was me as well. And as a young woman, I felt so much shame. I felt like a psycho. I felt crazy. I felt evil. I felt alone. I didn't tell my girlfriends how bad the fights were with my boyfriend, right? I didn't talk about how bad it was. And I certainly never went to my family doctor and said, I think I might need some help. I just felt like a bitch. That's it, right? And so I really relate to that. This is part of our stories.
100%. Yep. And the only other thing I'll say too, really quick before we listen to Sarah's, because her testimonial is going to blow your minds, you guys. So do not go anywhere. She's been telling me about this behind the scenes. The other thing I will say for me personally, besides mood swings, because that was massive, is night sweats. So I turned 40 this year. And it was kind of crazy. People kept saying, wait till you turn 40, wait till you turn 40, things are going to change. And I kept like laughing them off, like, yeah, haha. Well, I got the night sweats, right? Like I would wake up with like the pool of like sweat on my chest right before my period too. This month didn't have that. Like I didn't wake up with the night sweats. So I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. So those were, for me, those are the two things that I personally in the past 30 days clearly like noticed.
So, I love that. And night sweats again for me at about 40 were severe. I had them for like 8 years. It was like, I would say the hormone fairy would visit me in the night with a bucket of sweat water and just dump it on me. And I had to change my nightie.
That's what it feels like for me. I would like rip my shirt off and like wake up and have no shirt on. And yeah.
How weird is it to like that feeling? You just reminded me, trickling water through my tiny cleavage in waking me up, the trickling, like
so cute.
The trickling water. But my night sweats were so bad that I could make a slopping sound on the bed sheets sometimes, and I had to set up the dry nightie and the towels for the middle of the night. So it's real. And so you guys, for Carrie to have in 1 month of the menstrual formula to have mood, like nasty mood stuff, like, come on, we're joking, we're laughing, we're lighthearted, but we all know, let's be real for a minute. We all know behind closed doors, when you literally don't like your husband for 1 week out of 4, that wears on a marriage and a relationship long term. It is really hard, especially when it really feels real. It feels real. Like, I remember like men saying to me, all of them, not just one, all of the men, the 2 ex-husbands and all the boyfriends before and the current husband, all said the same thing, which is like, are you liking this? Is this like, are you trying to pick a fight with me? And I remember,
that's a line. Yes.
are you trying to pick a fight with me? And I remember thinking, well, it sure looks like it, but no, I'm positive, 100% positive this is not my hormones. You're the problem.
Yep. Guilty. Anybody else guilty of that? 100%. Everything she just said, like, I've been through that exact scenario.
Like, yeah, I can see how you would think this is my hormones. I get that, but I'm telling you, it's not. It's you.
And women, we're never wrong.
Well, not especially not during that time of the month. I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So,
not
like, Carrie's just taking me back down memory lane. I'm past that now. But like she said,
let me stop her. Does she really look like she's that far past it? Like, Sarah looks like she's 2 years older than me. Just saying. Just saying. Anyhow.
Well,
yeah.
I've learned to just say thank you.
Yes, please accept the compliment.
I'm just gonna say thank you.
I love you. I want to hear your story because where I like am having those, you know, changes and I'm hyped about it. Like you, I want to hear it again. Tell us again.
Yeah. So you guys, you know, and listen, I'll pause partway through here. We're just going to wrap it up in a few more minutes because we want to get you this information and we want to get it to you fast. But drop in the comments VIP, VIP, if you want more information, right? If you want more information on any of this, right? Because otherwise we could be here for 5 hours talking to you about the menstrual formula and why it's doing that for Carrie. Like, would you like to know why it's doing that for Carrie? And tons of the other women in the insider, the beta testing, are getting those results. And so drop VIP in the comments if you want to learn more about that. And if you're, you know, a friend of Carrie's, tag her. If you're a friend of mine, tag me. It doesn't even really matter. Just drop VIP. But for me, I'm post-menopause. So menopause, you guys, I just want to let you know, is just 1 day of your life. So menopause is when a woman has gone 12 months in a row without a period. Not 11 months, not 11 and a half months, not 9 months, not 4 months, 12 months in a row, no period, no menstrual cycle, boom, menopause, that's the day. And after that day, here's what I thought. I thought, finally, it took me several years to get that 12 months. And I thought, finally, yeah, I get to live my best life now. I'm going to rock out the next half. And I know I have hormones on board because I get that, but I was sure I was finished with the nightmare roller coaster because I just had never heard otherwise. Unbeknownst to me, and drop in the comments if you're like, wow, I didn't know that either. Drop wow, because there's something called post-menopause, and it happens after menopause 1 day, and it can lead well into your 80s. I'm planning to live.
Comments. I just dropped a wow.
I was totally excited, done my period, and done with the nightmare, right? I know I'm aging still, I get that, but done with my nightmare of hormones that I'd had since I was 13 years old. And so when I started to notice these health declines. I didn't connect the dots, ladies. I didn't realize this must be my hormones. And this is one of the reasons that we're so passionate about sharing this. With like Carrie's story, you might not have connected the dots that you hate your husband that much, and it's not him and it's not you, it's hormones, right? And there's something you can do about it. We have a solution. And I really didn't connect the dots that these new declines in my health had to do with hormones, because I'd never heard the term postmenopause. So here are the things that I was experiencing after my period stopped, and that I probably went many months before I started to even really clue in that I had something going on bad enough to call my naturopath and my GP, which I did. But here's what really started to scare me: brain fog. And I'm not talking about like, where did I put my keys, or I forgot that appointment, or I walk into a room and can't remember why. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the feeling that you have a lead cape draped over your brain and it's dragging your intelligence down, down, down into the ditch. And I just felt more and more like I couldn't string a sentence together. I felt more and more, honestly, concerned. I'm not allowed to make any medical claims here. I'm not going to say any words. I was concerned about the health of my brain. And so that's the brain fog. The other thing that came, and I'm sure as a result of carrying a lead blanket around my brain, I was exhausted. So I was waking up every morning with my alarm clock going off, and I was like putting it into my dream, and I was trying to like pull myself out of a sleep to get up. I was exhausted. I needed naps every day. I was ashamed of that. I wasn't telling my team. I'm building an online business. I've got goals, and I've got people to serve, and I've got empires to grow. And I'm like freaking taking an hour-long nap with my nightie on in the middle of a sunny day, feeling ashamed and scared, worried. How am I going to build a business when most of my day is only useful in the first few hours, and then after that I have no more juice in me? And the other thing I was really noticing that was definitely disturbing was a lack of feeling plugged in, a lack of passion, and a really like low libido. So let's talk about libido for a minute, because it's not talked about, right? Yeah, maybe with your girlfriends over drinks, yeah, for sure you can talk about that. But truly, low libido is a result of your hormones spiraling out of whack. And it's not, again, it's not necessarily you or your relationship or your partner, but low libido. And let's be honest, I'll be honest here. I didn't have low libido. I had no libido. Zero libido, not low. That would have been nice, because there would have been some of it, but there is like zero libido going on. And, luckily I'm in a loving relationship with an amazing human, and he is so supportive, and like we're best friends and we get along really well, but still it was affecting our relationship. And so what I've noticed since taking Project 23, the menopause formula, and this is just my story. I'm not a scientific research study. I'm not a medical health care practitioner by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just one woman. This is my story. And I almost feel like guilty sharing it, because it sounds like, oh, she'd be too good to be true. Hopefully by now you've picked up that I'm just a straight shooter and I just kind of tell the truth. So day one, I noticed the brain fog lift 50%. Day two, I noticed the brain fog 100% gone. I felt dialed in, tuned in, tapped in, all the things, a skip in my step. It was so extreme that I was like, is this possible? Let me just like watch this a little bit longer before I start telling anybody. I started to wake up 15 minutes before my alarm clock. My days, I had energy from the time I got up until around 7 or 8 at night. That's a lot of energy and a lot of time without a nap. I went from 20 naps the month before to 4. And for 2 of those 4 naps, I got up, didn't really need the nap. This is major, you guys. It's really major. And how about the libido? You guys are like, is she going to talk about the libido? Well, let me tell you, I've never had high libido. It was never super high, right? Which is probably why it went to 0. And I didn't even know what libido coming back would feel like. I'll tell you guys, in the insider group, there's a lot of women with high libido. Like they're like super stoked. They're like, ah, it's perfect over here. I'm like,
It's
I
so
wonder what will
true.
happen with the libido for me. And here's what libido returning feels like. It feels like the dang thing's just even crossing your mind. It wasn't even crossing my mind before. Like it wasn't even floating across my mind. Hey, well, maybe I wish he was home right now. He'd be a lucky man if he were home right now. That wasn't even coming into my radar, right? I was more like, oh my God, please not tonight. No, 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 no. That was more
Oh,
me.
who can relate to that? I love that she's being so real. It's so true. I love it.
Right. And so, okay, I don't got the fire emojis with the libido going on quite yet, but I'll tell you what, if he were home a few of those times this month, he might have got lucky. It's floating across my mind. I'm like, ooh, with that, who that, who this? Oh, that's libido. Okay, I'm good. This is kind of nice, right? It's never going to be like super high for me because that was never me ever, ever, ever. But this feels healthy and normal. And it's proof that the product's working.
Y'all, like, come on, drop some mind blown emojis. Start dropping those VIPs if you want to get on a list to get this in your hands. Because let me just throw this out there. There was the insider tester group. Then they had those that are like building the business. They opened up a little tiny window where people could start ordering. Y'all, it sold out in 35 minutes. 35 minutes.
We broke the internet.
It literally broke. Correct. There were that many people ordering, wanting to snag, hearing stories like that. And like Sarah said, the testimonials rolling in that group, like out of the 300 people testing, I mean, we're just two. We're two of 300. Insane. Insane in the membrane.
Yeah. So drop that VIP. And Carrie, why don't you touch on for a moment about like the opportunity here to join us and be a part of a movement right now? What is the timing like right now for this?
So let me throw this out there before I dive into that also. If you know anyone that could benefit from anything that either of us shared, you can tag them in this video. This video is totally shareable. Feel free to share it with anyone so that they can get this information as well. We will connect them with it. We will connect them with the right person to help get them the information that they're looking for. But to take advantage of this opportunity, you guys, this would be like, I've been telling people, this is like if you got a little insider information into when Netflix was about to launch, when, you know, they were talking about, hey, we might start doing this thing called like Airbnb or Uber, right? Like if you got like a little insider info and you happen to be listening to two people like us and they were like, you know, there might be this thing that's kind of cool that's going to replace Blockbuster and Redbox, and you're going to be able to start something online and you might be able to make a little money, but this is going to impact, what's the number? How many billions of women? 49? 49 billion women, y'all, are on this planet. And just think in your mind as you're listening to this, how many women do you know that potentially could benefit from period formula or menopause formula that is struggling with? We didn't even go into all the other things that it helps with. We just shared our testimonial. This is going to help with what other symptoms? Remind me.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, because like this morning, my 18-year-old daughter said, is my menstrual formula here yet? Look at my chin. So all pimples on her chin. She says, my boobs are so sore, I can't stand it. And I have like this weird upset stomach. Like, where's my formula? So it's going to help with, and I don't have the list in front of me, but with the young women, right? Tender breasts, mood swings, stress on the body, bloating,
like UTI
skin,
something with UTI symptoms.
Yeah, UTIs, skin, for the perimenopause, night sweats, low libido, of course, mood swings. Mood swings, like they're with every phase. Those mood swings come with every single phase. But the night sweats that Carrie talked about, oh, here's the other benefit I've had. I've totally forgot to talk about this, but one of the things that happens in postmenopause, so the night sweats were over for me, right? The buckets of sweaty water, because I got through that phase of my life without Project 23. Somehow I lived through it. But for me at this age, I was having what I call nighttime heat flashes. So ladies who have this, you're going to relate. It's like a flick of a switch goes on. Internally, you feel the furnace, the towering inferno heat up, and you've got about 0.5 second to whip off the blanket. And if you use a weighted blanket like mine, it's hard to get that off fast. You flip up as the heat rises and you're like dying, you get that blanket off, and then you fall back asleep, and then you wake up freezing cold and you pull it back on, and then that like blanket dance goes all night long. Only I didn't have the sweat, because I think at this age you're like turning to dust, you're drying up. So the sweat was gone, the moisture was gone. And that's another thing, vaginal dryness. We didn't talk about that.
Oh, we forgot about that one.
Ouch.
Yes. And
ouch in the comments if you've got vaginal dryness. Now, I would love to tell you that I suffered from vaginal dryness, because then I would love to tell you that how this product has worked for me. But and Carrie's too young for it. But I did not have vaginal dryness, and I'll tell you why. I'm convinced why, because I've been drinking our liquid BioCell for 3 years, and that stuff has hyaluronic acid in it, and that put moisture back in my eyes, which were dry. And I think my vagina like dodged the dryness bullet.
Oh, drop some of the water emojis in the comments. I can't. It's so true. Like, I've heard that before, that it helps a ton with that.
Guys, honestly, total sidebar, but if you want your skin to be more moisturized, your eyes to get moisture, your skin, your hair, your nails to have more moisture, and your vagina, then you need the liquid BioCell while you wait for this product. So drop BioCell if you want to learn more about that. But what I've heard about dry vaginas is not pretty. I've heard it's like a cactus going up in there, like sharded glass going up in there. You shrink in size, so it tears when you do have sex. Like it's way worse than it sounds from the women I've talked to. And so the Project 23 is going to help with vaginal dryness. I mean, right there, all those like things we've mentioned, you guys, if you could even have 1 or 2 improve, would you be interested?
Or if you could have 1 or 2 people that you know that has anything that we just named, and you could help them, would you be interested in hearing about how you could add money to your household, how you could take advantage of this business opportunity? And I feel like drop the word biz, right? If you want some info on just hearing a peak, right? We're no pressure. I'm a no pressure peak. Sarah's a no pressure peak. Like, I'm not going to sit here and hound you. I love to just educate people and help people make educated decisions. If you drop the word biz, one of us will get in touch with you, and we'll share information on, what that could look like for you.
Yeah. And we'll say goodbye now. You guys have been amazing to stay on this long, but I'll just ask you this, because I heard somebody say this the other day, and it was really powerful. Have you ever wished that you were in the right place at the right time, but you just felt like you never were? Have you ever watched other people and thought, man, they were in the right place at the right time? Yes. And you're like, gosh, they're so lucky. I wish I was. Well, I just want to let you guys know that our amazing CEO, she has hit $2 billion home runs so far with our liquid BioCell and our belly blaster on her spoon, our trim. Twice those have been product industry $1 billion home run hits, and this will be the 3rd. Goosebumps. And so if you're feeling like, I wish I was in the right place at the right time, let this be a little message, and drop, like Carrie said, drop the word biz. One of us will reach out to you, and we'll just share information. That's what we love to do.
Alone is giving me goosebumps. What if you were in the right place at the right time? That's it. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Shall we leave them with that?
Let's leave them with that.
We're leaving y'all with that. Mic drop. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Bye, everybody.